Pregame.tv, NFL season wins. Philadelphia Eagles, the nightmare that was the 4-12 season. The nightmare is over. The Eagles go into 2013. The Dream Green team is back. Are they a contender? That's what we're talking about. We're not going to talk about anything else but the season win at 7.5 wins. What do you think about these Eagles?
I was just in Philly, and people aren't happy.
People are not happy.
Not happy. Philly's one of those towns where you got to prove yourself. Like, coming in with all hype, they're going to call your bluff.
I just saw Invincible.
It's that kind of city.
You saw that movie?
Yeah. Like, like the new kid comes from another city, and he may be the tough kid from where he's from and may be big. And Philly, someone's going to fight him.
Right.
Like, no one's just going to take his word for it because he was in juvie or whatever.
Right,
you know what I mean? Someone's going to call him out. And it's kind of like that with their sports. Kelly may have won a lot of college games, but they're not excited about him until he wins pro games. And so far, they don't like what they've seen just with 1 week. The biggest knock, I think, on Kelly, as far as his offensive scheme, most people I've talked to that do know a lot about the team, they think it'll be kind of like Texas A&M when they got to the SEC. No one saw it before. They were successful. So they do think if the team grasps it, it's a positive. But most believe the negative is that he didn't name a starting quarterback before the season started. That's a college football move. There's no tryouts. There should not be tryouts in the pro. Listen, you got a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, a new head coach. The last thing you want is to start the preseason, to start training camp without a leader on the football field. Pick your starter. Week 4, 5, if they're 1-4 and he's doing awful, then you get the green light from everyone to stick in Foles or stick in.
See, so you truly believe the fact that you said Foles, you know Vic's going to be the starter.
That's
you know it. I know
exactly. But they should have named it right away. Why even allow that controversy? Teams don't know who to look to.
I'll tell you why. Because they don't want Michael Vick to be going home and not studying his iPad for the playbook.
That's
the way they force Michael Vick to do the work, which I'm not saying he wouldn't do.
Like he proved himself when he came out of prison.
That's right. Boy, it's amazing when a guy doesn't have a guaranteed contract how hard he'll
play.
He'll study to get ready for the football season. And I do think that Michael Vick has a very high upside when he plays, but my goodness, the turnover bug. They talk about, like, I've heard, I read everybody, okay? I've read the reports about how the Eagles outgained their opponents last year.
Right.
Minus 24 turnovers. Lots to like about the Eagles. You know, they kind of mailed it in late in the year.
Right.
And they got rid of a coach that's disinterested, distracted, son's death, all that stuff, drug problems with his son. However, Andy Reid is not Romeo Crennel. Andy Reid is a serviceable coach.
The most winningest coach in Eagle history.
When things go south on a coach like that, it's the team that has character problems. When you got guys like Brown, the backup running back who became the starter, running the ball like this, you know the coaches are trying to correct that each and every week, and the players just aren't listening. But I got the nut information on Philly.
Give it to me.
No, I haven't heard this from anybody else. Philly won 4 games last year. Guess how many points they won those games by?
How many? Yeah, I remember. They kept winning by 1 point.
One?
Yeah.
They won in Cleveland by 1 point with the last
and then like
drive.
a week later.
They won against Baltimore. I don't know if it's by 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Last-minute drive.
Yeah.
They won against the Giants.
Yeah.
19-17, last-minute drive. And then finally, they'd lost 8 games in a row. What happens? They're trailing 21-10 against Tampa Bay. 4 minutes to play. 2 drives in the final 4 minutes, or final 6 minutes, culminating with a touchdown pass to, I believe it's to Macklin, who's not going to be able to play because he's injured, on the final play, and they had to go to review to make sure that he stayed in bounds, held the ball and everything. This team was 4 plays away from 0-16. You say, well, they could have, you look at the games they lost, they could have won. There's only 2 close wins. So this team really was not like one of those 4-12s that could have been like Carolina. They could have won 4 more games, or Detroit could have won 4 games. No.
It's talent and no chemistry. I mean, when you look at their skill position players, they have the names, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy. McCoy got hurt, whatever. But you don't see much effort
And,
you know,
and how about the chemistry?
How long has it been since Deshaun Jackson had a big year? Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where high potential, low achiever. The last 2 years, what has he done?
Well, now that he doesn't have a running mate, you know, with his other receiver hurt, and the fact this whole Riley Cooper thing. Oh my goodness! I mean,
yeah, they can't help. Are they going to? They averaged 67 plays per game last year. Well, in Oregon, Kelly averaged 80 plays per game. Where are they going to fall? In the middle? They'll
fall in the middle. There's 900 yards of offense. New England, Philly, that week one. But here, my key is bad chemistry with the Riley Cooper. And the defense, I think I can see these guys like.
Lost three starters.
Head coach is going to get me killed.
Yeah.
I'm going out there. I got to run out there. With our crappy offense, I got to run out there and tackle for 80 plays a game, 90 plays a game, whatever it is. I mean, my collarbone is going to be shattered in more than 2 places by the time this is all over with. And I mean, I think that longevity of careers and stuff like this, the offense might like it. They might embrace it eventually, but the defense.
You're so right.
Is gone. What would you do? I'd riot. I'd be furious.
That's the last place I'd want to be playing if I was on defense.
Oh my goodness! I mean, because your career is going to be short.
Just like what happened with the Ravens with their season problems when they were with the hurry up and the defense was on the field in the whole fourth quarter. They're all
gassed. And everything else. And also, if you have an injury on defense, you might suck it up and play.
Yeah.
You got to go and play all those plays. Boy, I think I need another week, and going into the ice time.
I like it. So we're going under 7.5. You're saying?
And what's interesting on this, I'll make it official in a minute, is that normally I'm all about scheduling dynamics, and the Eagles' the schedule is very manageable, and I'm sure people are looking at it and there's like, oh well,
they're a 500.
They're
team.
like, there's a win.
Right.
They'll win that game. They'll win that. Well, guess what? The teams that they're playing are looking at the schedule. They're like, well, we'll beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's Arizona's like, well, we can maybe get that. Go ahead and get that one. So,
I mean, when you look at last year at 4-12, they have to double that.
And they were lucky to go
cash a ticket, exactly. So they have to improve significantly.
And they started 3-1. They should have gone 0-12. They should have lost the Tampa Bay game. That was kind of a miracle at the end. Let me make it official.
I like it.
Philadelphia Eagles hearing a lot of talk about how that 4-12 team was a lot better statistically. I'm going to come over the top and re-raise. I think that they could easily have lost their final 12 games. Brand new coach, brand new systems. Bad chemistry, Riley Cooper thing is not going to help. And now on top of it, I really think someone's going to talk about the defense about how this is just not good. You look at our country, very strong unions really help the country grow strong, but those unions can have problems because they rebel against change. And here's an example where I think there's going to be if there's one rallying point this team's going to have is the defense hating this hurry up and having to play all these plays. And because of that, I see this team, if things start to go bad, and they have a schedule, they have three cupcakes at the beginning, 3 cupcakes, relatively speaking, at the end, and a murderous row in the middle of the schedule. By the time December comes, it's going to be late December. It's going to be time to be back in school. Eagles, under 7.5. Very strong free play.
And you couple that with a team that's going from a 4-3 to a 3-4.
Totally new system.
A new defensive scheme. And
did you see that the Patriots?
They got to be on the field for 35 minutes every game.
They said Brady looked sharp. Brady just handed it to Ridley, and he riddled them big time. 8 yards.
Just running.
Did you see the?
This is official. We could just call today.
Did you see the Ligarius?
Bet against the Eagles.
I already did.
Just paid the Eagles.
Did you see
I'm sorry, Philly. Sorry.
Did you see the Ligarius Blunt? Did you see the run that he did? The 55-yard touchdown run?
No.
Pitch out to the right, cut back to the left, back to the middle, 50 yards, untouched. Never seen that.
Like Alabama.
Oh my! Yeah, it was like Alabama. It was like when he was at Oregon running against Washington State. That works against Washington State. In the NFL, when you cut back against the grain like that twice, you get your head taken off. Unless you're playing the Philadelphia Eagle defense. It's going to be a long year, Philly. Watch reruns of Invincible. That was a great story. Who knows? Maybe you have a good team in a couple years. Not going to happen this year.
I like it. I hate to agree, but I like it.
All right. Pregame.tv. We're going to be doing videos. It's still summer, hot, but the real stuff is coming.
Jackets come on soon, even for me.
Absolutely. Stay with us. Pregame.tv.
Sweaty war.